Hello everyone, I hope you're well and coping in this continuing strange time. Today I'm answering the questions sent in following on from my sound lecture. Another interesting selection, so here's the first one, entitled Finding Your Own Sound. Many great musicians have their own very distinct sound which is unique to them. Do you think this is something they directly worked on? Do you think a musician should work on specifically trying to search for and develop their own unique sound? Or do you think this is something that will occur naturally as a result from trying to create a good sound in combination with their unique musical personality? If you think it is something to be worked on, how would you go about it? Should one purposely search for a sound unique to them? Thanks for this interesting question, which has several points to discuss. I agree, great musicians do have their own individual sound. I believe it occurs naturally through their high level of playing and their unique musical personality. I don't believe they set out to search for their individual sound separately from their journey with the music. As I said in the lecture, sound comes from deep within us, from our desire for particular qualities of sound, from our personal energy. It's our musical voice. You know how when we talk, the voice we speak with is also very individual, highly recognizable. We don't set out to make it individual, it's just naturally the sound of our voice. The way I see it, great musicians are artists and not just musicians. To be an artist requires a higher level of skill and ability to listen with incredible focus and detail, a great imagination and the confidence to explore creativity and spontaneity. Also, and very importantly, the ability to play without inhibition, exposing deep feelings to the audience without self-consciousness. Interestingly, when great musicians are comparing different instruments, they instinctively adjust their way of playing so their individual sound comes through. They're literally searching for their own voice in the different instruments, so they end up sounding amazingly similar whichever one they play. Of course, each instrument has its own set of qualities, and a great musician will take advantage of these, but only to amplify their own voice, to be more creative. But to get back to you, for sure you'll find your individual sound as your skills build and you achieve your potential. The tools I lay out for you in these lectures, and I mean all 5 lectures, will help you learn as quickly and efficiently as possible. Of course, you'll go on developing and refining your skills throughout your life. Gaining a higher level of technique and mastery of your instrument will certainly help you achieve your special quality of sound. Finally, your personal sound will flow freely from you without barriers. You'll expose your individuality naturally through your unique voice. You will project your personal sound as you fulfill your musical intentions. Let me read the second question, which was called Volume of Playing. I know you talked about dynamic variations as being more important than the physical volume you are playing at. As you said, the trumpet and organ are naturally louder instruments. But what is the best way to practice increasing the overall volume of your playing when you're preparing to play over a large ensemble or orchestra? Thank you for this question. As a soloist, I've played concertos throughout my career, going back as far as when I was 12 years old, so that's literally thousands of times over a very long time. I really do understand how vital it is to master the ability of volume and projection over and above the sound of the orchestra to the very back of the concert hall. It requires an enormous combination of skills, which is why we need to understand and work on all of them. As I explained in the sound lecture, we're looking to find the greatest resonance with the most overtones and harmonics, and the methods to move the air as much as possible. This has been a lifelong fascination and requirement for me. I talked about playing on what I call the golden line. Again, this is a crucial skill for making the largest possible sound. Of course, another thing about volume is you have to have energy, a minimum tension and the freest movements. You have to breathe easily and you have to have excellent physical balance and hand positions. To have the ability to play with a greater volume means that all the above points need to be studied, practiced and put together, not just from the sound lecture but from all the lectures. There is simply no shortcut to making a big sound. It requires this multitude of refined disciplines. Your task is to study all these things. Once you're able to combine these skills and use them with understanding and control, you'll have the ability to play with the volume and quality necessary for your sound to carry over a large ensemble or orchestra to the very back of the concert hall. Question 3 is about vibrato. And it's entitled Relaxed Vibrato. Do you have any tips on how to have a relaxed vibrato, particularly at the point in the neck, just before going into thumb position? Well, with this question, you have preempted my next lecture, which is on vibrato and staccato. So fortunately, you'll only need to wait a few days to find out if I've answered your question. Of course, please feel free to ask any more that might crop up. So, on to our final question today, which is playing quietly without tension. I'm a double bass player and I would like to know what are your tips on playing sustained lines quietly without tensing up your bow arm and body in general. I find that I am most tense when I'm trying to play a legato sustained melody at a quieter dynamic. I can sometimes also lose contact with the string when trying to play quietly, which is frustrating. Thanks very much for your question and for your openness. I always say at my live lectures how we are all in this together, that problems we might think are very personal to us are almost always problems we all encounter at some point or other. So it's great to be communicative about what we find difficult, because in sharing things among us musicians, we all benefit and discover solutions more quickly, which is great because we all want to make the fantastically complicated task of playing music as simple and effortless as possible. My sense is that when you're playing quietly, you're lifting your bow arm weight in order to play piano. This will create a lot of tension in your hand, arm, shoulder, maybe your back, and restrict your breathing. It's likely also to be the reason you sometimes lose good contact with the string. I'm assuming you've already studied how to sit or stand well, balance well, and how to use good structures in your hands. With these in place, start by putting your bow on the string, relaxing and staying still. Find your minimum tension to stay in this position. Then start moving slowly and keep that minimum level of tension while you play your first notes. Remember from the lecture I explained that movement equals volume and weight equals character, which means when we want to play quietly, we play with just a little bow movement. Like wind players blow less air through their instrument or singers less air through their vocal cords. Choose very carefully the character of the sound you desire, controlled by the bow weight. The minimum weight will be what you used when you first put the bow on the string. Then put into your head the sense that not moving your bow arm very much is a pleasure, that it allows each bow to go on for hours, that you can relax in this gentleness and ample time. You could even try forgetting completely that you need to move at all. You'll just be listening to the beauty of your quiet line and adjusting your vibrato to the expression of the music. You can try totally forgetting about your body and just enjoy the music. And another point, it's really good to focus on the sensations you can feel in the vibrations coming from the string to both hands, however gentle these might be. Enjoy these vibrations. All of these ideas I've suggested you can try separately, try alternating from moment to moment as you play, or combine. Let me know how that goes and what questions they bring. That's all from this question and answer session. So I wish you all well. Keep being safe and sensible, and I hope you get really absorbed and enthused with your practicing. Good luck everyone, and bye for now.